What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Realms of Metal. Eddie here, back with you from my happy place in the woods here in PA. We've got a very special guest today. We got my buddy George from George G's Room of Rock on with us. Man, George, welcome back.
Thanks for having me again. It's
Eh,
always a pleasure.
Good
Always
to
a
see you.
pleasure.
Good to see you, brother.
You too.
How's everything been going?
It's going. Just busy with work.
Yeah.
Busy summer, busy summer.
Yep.
Hot and
See,
sweaty and rainy and all that garbage.
hasn't this been the hottest summer you can remember? Like, holy
Yes. And
crap.
I'm afraid we're gonna have a cold winter. They say hot summer, cold winter.
You're
Who
probably
knows,
right.
but it's not the funnest thing either. You can't shovel heat, but you know.
Yeah. As I get older, I hate the summer more and more. Like I hate the heat. Like I don't know
Me
how the
too.
hell people can live down in Florida, like in the
Uh,
South. Like I really just wouldn't be able to do it, man. I'd spend
I,
most of my time in the AC.
yeah, I told my wife, I said, I'm not moving to Florida. She doesn't want to move there either. Just throw the stuff. We're gonna move if we move to North Carolina.
Yeah,
If we decide whatever the hell that is, but that's not for a long time. But
there you go. So this was a collaboration idea of yours. So tell us what we're talking about today.
all right. Well, we're talking about five bands that we should like considering the music we listen to, but we can't get into. So that's basically it. I mean, basically it's bands that you think that you should like and you try to listen to them, but it's something about them you can't get into, and maybe you can't explain why you don't like them, but
This
you
was a
probably
fun.
should.
This was a fun topic for me, going through bands, trying to find bands that fit that bill for me. And I did find a bunch. And I mean, it's no genre, right? Any genre included?
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually the five bands I picked are different genres actually.
Okay.
So
All right. Why don't you start us off?
okay, I'll start off with a band I always hear about it a lot called Manila Road. I hear about them all the time from all these channels, and they've been around forever. They got a million albums out. I always hear about certain albums. You listen to this one, that one, and I listen to it, and the music doesn't touch me at all. And the I don't like the vocals, so it's it. That's got to be it. The music can be fine, but the vocals come in and I don't like it. That's going to be the end of it there.
I'm
But they're
not
a
sure.
classic band.
Is that is considered classic rock or what is Manila Road? I don't even think I've ever even listened
You
to that.
know, they they're really hard to categorize. According to what other people like always talk about them, they're like really not a metal band, but they have some heavy albums.
Yeah.
That's what I try to listen to, the heavier ones. But
Would you compare them to like a UFO or something like that?
they're kind of like, you know what? It's really, again, it's hard to explain what they are. They're kind of like, that's kind of like, not really like UFO, but they're more like light power metal.
Okay. All
Uh,
right.
Kind of like that. I mean, they're hard rock, but they have their elements. I just try to listen to their stuff, and it's just like, I don't know why. I mean, if I heard so many good things about the band and people praise these albums, I'm just like, I can't. It's just not something I listen to. So
Now that you bring them up, I'm going to check them out because it sounds intriguing to me, at least for me to like just give them a
yeah,
shot and listen to them. But I'm going to do that, man. Manila Road.
yeah. I just want to say also, the bands I picked, these aren't crappy bands. These are good bands. They're just bands I can't get into. These aren't
Same
like these are
here.
shit bands. None of them are shit bands. They're all good bands, talented musicians, and you never know one day they could actually click.
It's
Because that
possible.
happens. Sometimes you're like, no, oh, you know what? Now I like it. But
Right.
just for now, it's like I've tried. I'm like, and you want to like it, but you're like, you can't force yourself to like it.
I've got some major league bands on my list. Like you're going to be shocked at what I got on my list here. But
We all hear things differently.
yeah.
You know, I heard the one guy. I don't know if you watch that guy Explosive Action.
Mm-mm.
He's a guy from Australia. He doesn't like ACDC. I mean, who doesn't like ACDC?
And he's from
But
Australia.
yeah, he doesn't like ACDC.
That's,
I was like, really? You know, like, I mean, but I just thought everyone likes him. But like, how do you not like ACDC? But you know, he doesn't like him. You can't fault him for that.
and being from Australia. I don't get it.
Exactly.
That
That's
I
a
don't get.
double. That's all right.
That would be like my hometown hero. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. The one that made it big. So what do you got for your first one?
All right, I'm going to give you my first one. This is the first one I thought of. And they're such a legendary band that I can't believe I don't like them, but I know why I don't like them. And I feel bad for not liking them. And that's Emperor.
Oh,
Like, they are a classic black metal band. I mean, I even have In the Night Side Eclipse, but I can't get into symphonic metal, uh, black metal, like anything that involves anything symphonic. It just turns me right off. And I know Emperor is a legendary band. I can't do it, George. I don't know what my deal is, but that symphonic type of metal is just not for me. I feel bad for not liking Emperor as much as I should.
They're kind of like well, they're the early version like a Seymour Bougier. They're like the symphonic stuff too, right?
Exactly.
So I
Yep.
don't mind that too much. I don't have their stuff, but I don't mind that. And some of the early Emperor stuff, I don't have it, but I don't mind it. So I might get into that later. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's me for me the black metal. I can't get into like the really harsh stuff. You know,
But
it
you know
depends
what
on
I
what it
do
is. I feel
like?
like.
I like Izan. Now I always pronounce his name Izan, but I think people pronounce it's the real pronunciation is Ishan,
Yeah, I
which
think that's the right way.
I refuse to pronounce it that way. It sounds like some rap, pornographic R&B singer like Cardi B and Ishan, coming to you. Like I just can't do it. So I call him Isan.
That's too funny.
But I love his solo stuff. Like it's very, especially the
Yeah,
early stuff, like the adversary is very King Diamondish almost. I love
really.
his solo stuff. I really do, much more than the Emperor stuff.
It's never know. But you do like that one album you have though.
I do like I listen to In the Night Side Eclipse here or there, but I don't love it. It's.
See that's the album I heard from other people. Like that's the one album to get, and then after that they kind of fall off. But
Yeah. Now they
you know,
only
it's
have they formed in 1991. They only have four lengths. Do you know why that is? Why their output is so little?
uh, I don't know. Maybe the Guns N' Roses of black metal.
Everybody loves their full lengths though. They do. They're very highly respected and people seem to love them. I just.
And they're not a band. Are they still a band?
I think so. I think they
Yeah.
are.
I don't know. It's crazy.
But there's my number
You
one.
never know.
That's Emperor.
Emperor, huh? Okay. All right. Then my number two is Gamma Ray. Now I love Halloween, so you think I would love Gamma Ray because Kai Hansen,
Yeah.
sings for them. And also the what's his name? Ralph Sheepers has a couple albums with them. I listen to both of them. I'm just like, I don't like it,
Yeah.
and I should like it because I like this like that first Halloween album was phenomenal
Yeah.
with Kai singing, and I love the a lot of the Primal Fear albums, but something about that I can't get into it. I tried listening to all the best of on like I'm like no, I don't know why.
I love that
It's just
first Gamma Ray album. That reminds me of old Halloween a lot. That first Gamma Ray
yeah.
album. But as the records went on, they kind of went kind of like that for me.
Now he's on the first one. Kai Hansen, or is he on the?
Yeah, I
I heard
think
he's on the first one.
him and Ralph, yeah, are on the first one. Yep.
Maybe that's the one I haven't listened to. Because that's the one I hear. Like you got to go to the third one. I forgot the name of it.
That's the one that has Lust for Life on it and Money. And there's just a lot of good songs on that one.
Yeah, but they got a ton of albums too.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
I watch people do the ranking of the other albums, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try this one. I'm like, doesn't it's just weird how there's if you think that stuff sound just like them, and
Yeah.
I would just be that into the band, but no, it's not. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I gotta try again, and again, one day it might just click, but
It might click for you.
it might not.
All
What about
right.
your second choice?
Let me go to here might be kind of a controversial one. Deep Purple.
Oh,
I can't do it, George. I can't do
ugh.
it, man. And I don't hate Deep Purple. Like I aside from the hits, like that's the Deep Purple that I've heard, but like I hear like bad things about Richie Blackmore, like he's just a conceited prick, and that makes it even worse for me.
I got you.
Like Deep Purple's a very tough sell for me, and I've tried to listen to some of the older stuff, and it's fair, but it's a band that I just can't,
I get.
wrap my head around.
I just finished their discography. The early stuff is very like 60s psychedelic, which is
Yeah,
okay. And every album they cover a Beatles song,
yeah,
or at least two Beatles songs. That's funny, but the new stuff's very good. I mean,
yeah,
it's different because it's not. It's a little bit. I don't want to say mellower, but it's different because different guitar players have always had through all the years.
yeah.
But I can understand why you don't get them. But I always got into them for now. I really like them a lot. And I like the new albums too. But
And I do
like
love
you
that
said,
those first three Rainbow records, for obvious reasons, for Ronnie
of
James
course,
Dio.
for Ronnie, yeah,
And I remember reading interviews that Ronnie James Dio did not think very highly of Richie Blackmore either, which kind of swayed my, opinion even further on Blackmore because
yeah.
Ronnie James Dio didn't like him. So
Yeah, well, he respected him as a musician and what he brought to them, but he didn't respect the person he was because he wouldn't like stay after the concert to sign autographs. He would just leave and
right,
snub the his
yep,
fans.
hmm,
And Ronnie would stay to sign autographs because that's the kind of guy he was.
right.
Ronnie was a special guy, you know. Definitely, that surprises Deep Purple. Since that one of those everyone likes that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I don't hate them.
they're like it's like them and Sabbath and like Uriah Heep really started the whole hard
Yeah.
rock thing, and Zeppelin,
Yeah. Don't
So
hate them, just can't grasp them. You know what I mean?
I get you. Okay, I'm gonna do this one might people like tear up the video. Deicide.
Whoa, that one hurts, George.
You know what? Yeah, listen to early stuff, but I love the music. But
Right.
then he starts singing, and I can't. It
Yeah.
sounds like his vocals over a dog barking,
Yeah. They
and
they
that's
are
what. And
definitely
I
a love
tried
them or
it.
hate them band, I think.
Yeah, I think his whole satanic vibe with this cross in his head, which I think he went over a little bit past that now. He's like, I read an article when he's gonna die at 33
Yeah.
or something, and well, he's still here. I get respect for all the albums that he's put out. I mean, a lot of respect. People that I tried, even I do like some of the couple of things on the new album though, and
Yeah.
people like dog that album. Like, they
Oh
don't like the
yeah.
cover. They don't like the cover. They don't like this. I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
It's
Listen
a
to
real
music.
dividing record. People love it or hate it, you know.
Yeah, I heard a lot of things about it though, but people have been, yeah, like you said, love it or hate it. But do you care about the album cover if it's AI or not? I mean,
I don't give a shit. Nope.
what's the difference? It's just, you listen to it for the music. Yeah, cover's cool to look at, but it's
To
not
me,
like it's a horrible cover.
that old Deicide with the Hoffman brothers, they were like the Slayer of death metal. They really were to
Yeah,
me.
that's what I mean. I love the music till he
Yeah.
starts singing.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like Hanneman and King, with the Hoffman brothers, like the death metal version of that, which I thought was like the coolest thing ever. And
Yeah,
obviously they're not in the band anymore. And they haven't been in it for years, but
what are
those
they doing?
I don't know what the hell they do. I know one of the brothers reformed Amon and they did one Amon record, but
Oh, okay,
other than that, like I don't know what the hell either of them are doing these days.
that's crazy. Yeah, but it's another band I try and try every year. I try it, so you never know. One day I'm gonna
Maybe
say, oh,
maybe they
that's
were
it. You
both
never.
involved. They might both been involved in that Amon record. If
Oh,
I
okay.
got to look it up.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, all you D-side fans, but
Hey, it is what it is.
they're all giving me the finger right now.
All right,
Crazy.
let's go. My number three. Here's another controversial one. Again, I don't hate the band. I have some of their stuff digitally, and I listen to it here or there. But it's another band I just can't grasp, and that's Rush.
Wow. Another one in the heart, man. Rush is a tough sell for people. Getty's voice can get to. I love Rush, but
I don't mind
it
his
took me.
voice. I don't. Just again, another. They have what 19 full lengths. I mean,
Yeah,
I just can't grasp Rush aside from the hits that you hear on like classic rock radio
yeah,
that everybody knows about. But
yeah. Well, they have different periods of their career. So they had the whole early period, which was pretty heavy, almost metal like, and then they had their whole long, like 19-minute song period, and then they had their shorter songs, then they had their whole almost like a new wave '80s thing, which that took a while to get into that stuff. But now I like it a lot. And the newer stuff's a little bit heavier, but it's more like '90s sounding. But they're definitely a band that people either like love it or they don't like them.
I will
But
say
I
that Neil Peart I think is probably one of the greatest drummers ever. Along
absolutely,
with John Bonham. I think they're
yep,
number one and number two, and they could go either way.
absolutely,
So I
absolutely,
definitely respect the talent there for sure. But it's just a band
yeah.
that have a tough
No, I
time.
get you.
You know,
I get you because Geddy Lee's a big talent. I mean, he sings and he'll play the keyboard and play the bass at the whole at the same time on stage. You gotta how do that. But I never saw them live. One band I wanted to see live, and I was gonna go see them, but this back then was like I think $350 to see them. I'm like, I can't spend that kind of money for your concert.
wow.
And that was their final tour. The one they're retiring on. But I'm like, you know what? I can't do it. I got bills to pay. But I kind of regret that. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
It's crazy. The way ticket prices are even then and now, it's like I can't. I
I
can't
know.
do it. It's like it's considering how much what we paid when we were younger, how much to see bands. They're like maybe $20, $30
Yeah.
bucks.
I was looking at
And
my
now it's like
Clash of the Titans ticket from 1991 the other day. It was like $19, for to see
you
Megadeth,
can't beat
Slayer,
that.
and Anthrax.
That's not bad for a ticket. And that was what, 1991 you said?
Yeah.
I remember said it we were kids and we scalped tickets for Bon Jovi in high school. At $50. I'm like, God, $50. That's a lot of money. I can't afford that. But we did it anyway. And I'm like,
Yeah,
now it's like that's cheap, $50.
I know.
Considering what some of these tickets go for.
It cost me $100 a ticket to buy Megadeth tickets. We're going to see Megadeth next month up at
Oh, cool.
Bethel Woods, and I'm taking my daughter. So for the three of us, was over $300.
Wow.
It's
Who
a
are they
lot to
playing
see
with?
Megadeth.
Who's opening for them?
It's All That Remains and Mudvayne,
No,
which
we're Mudvayne. Mudvayne.
Mudvayne, yeah.
Ugh, I can't get into them. It's a whole different kind of juice now.
I want my daughter to see Megadeth. I want her to see Dave Mustaine play live. Just she listens to Megadeth now, so like
Well,
that means a lot to me for me to be able to
good
take her
girl.
to see Megadeth. So I'm
You
excited
raised her
for
right.
that.
You
Yeah,
raised her right. It's funny. It's number 4 now.
hit us up.
All right. This one I probably should like. Sorry, let's listen to all that glam metal, hair metal stuff. And I love the guitar player on it. It's Damn Yankees because I love Ted Nugent,
Mhm.
but I can't stand Damn Yankees.
Yeah,
I don't like any of their songs, any of their hits. I try to listen. I'm like, no, I don't. I think it's the whole Tommy Shaw thing. I don't like Tommy Shaw. Don't hate him, but I don't like his his
what was their
vibe with
hit?
it. I
Was it
don't know.
High Enough? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't like that
Okay,
at all.
all right.
I don't like
I'm
that
not
one.
big on that either.
Yeah, I know. But that's one band I'm like, I tried. I'm like, no, no damn Yankees. I'm like, no, I just, I mean, I like some Night Ranger stuff. I like Jack Blades, but Tommy Shaw, I don't know, and this Ted Nugent just kind of, I think his Ted Nugent just kind of dialed back in the band.
Yeah,
You know, he didn't force it, you know, but I know people don't like Ted Nugent either, but I don't care. Ted Nugent's it's a funny guy.
yeah,
He is who he is, you know, he just
yeah.
doesn't give a shit. And,
I
but
don't
the
let
band itself,
I don't let politics sway me either way. I'll
no,
listen to
no,
Ted
no.
Nugent and then I'll listen to Bad Religion. So
That's yeah, exactly. I listen to whatever. I listen to this Ted Nugent, I listen to Bruce Springsteen, and they're both totally the other end of the spectrum. But
yeah,
nobody's what they believe. But you know, the one preaches too much, the other one just preaches like in a funny way. So,
what would be great is we know both parties are corrupt. If we a band like Bad Religion can just say, hey, we're left, but we know the left is corrupt. No, just admit it. Like
yeah,
everybody points to the right, like they're so corrupt, but meanwhile the left is more corrupt than probably the right is. I wish musicians would just call them all out instead of staying on one side. Is what I'm getting at.
you know, I wish that we would just not to get political with us, but that we just the parties would just like stop fighting each other and really just work together and help the country. And you just
Yeah,
badmouth each other, and you're like, this one's evil to get it, this one's evil to get it. Don't say that. Like, you know, just work together and make things.
yeah.
I think this is going to be the dumbest thing probably. Think whoever wins the presidency, the other one should be the vice president and work together. It's not going to happen, but you know, just work together. That's what we're supposed to do. But
Yeah.
whatever. We're off on a tangent. We shouldn't be talking about. But
All right.
anyway,
Let me go to my number 4. Rolling Stones.
I don't mind them. They're not one of my favorites, though. I get that, though.
They're such a legendary band, and they've influenced everybody. Like everybody's covered Paint It Black, and but I just can't. And I've heard a lot of Rolling Stone stuff. It's a band I can't make mine. Another band I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah,
So I mean, they got what, 28 full lengths, I think, and they just
that's a
released a
lot.
record last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I actually bought that one. It was actually pretty good.
So kudos to them for still, making music and releasing it and touring. I
I,
mean,
he's still running around stage. He's 80 something years old.
and I
My
just,
dad only made it to 80. You know, it's like I'd be 83 years old running around the stage singing these songs. Like, wow, how do you do that? That's amazing. That's
unreal. Like I said, I don't hate them. I just a band I can't grasp.
fully get it. They've
You
got
know,
too many albums. So if you wanted to start, I wouldn't know where to start. 28 albums. That's a lot.
I wouldn't know where to start either.
All right. Now, number 5 is a band I actually saw live. So they opened for another band, and you think when you see a band live, that kind of gets you into the band, but it's Municipal Waste.
Is it really?
Can't get into them, and
You
I
don't like
like
them, huh?
them. No, I didn't like them live. I didn't like their albums. They're kind of like I guess DRI and kind of like MOD kind. That's what they kind of remind me of. But
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. Just my wife and I think they opened for Overkill
Okay.
years ago, and I'm like, oh, cool. I want to hear the sound, and every song just sounded the same. They're all the songs are like 2 minutes long, and they're done. And I'm like, every song sounds exactly the same. My wife's like, I don't like this. I'm like, yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
And I thought I would. I was looking forward to hearing them. They're good. I mean, they sound good live, but it's not like what they were singing. And you get the
Yeah.
DRI in the back. That's pretty funny. And but yeah, I don't know. I can't get it. And they've been. I mean, it's cool that they keep the thrash thing going, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Just their
I do
music just
like
doesn't.
Municipal Waste. Of the newer thrash bands, I think they're probably my favorite of the newer wave of thrash bands that have come out. They're
Yeah,
a nod to the old school, huge nod to DRI. I mean, they say it even in their live shows that, without DRI, they wouldn't be here. And, I just think they're a fun band to see. And, they're a band, at 49, they're a band that I get into the pit and mix it up because I just, their music is so damn aggressive, and there's not a lot of bands I go and hit the pit. They're definitely one of them for me. Municipal Waste.
yeah. And they have an off. He has the bass player has an offshoot, that black metal band. Uh, I got that album. I like that. I like the album.
Yeah,
It was starts with an M. I forgot the name of it.
they do all
Uh,
of them do all kinds of projects, I think.
yeah, so I got that one album. I have it over there. I should go look for
Yep.
it. But it's a really good black metal album. So
Yeah.
that's kind of surprised. But yeah, that's another one. Just again, I try. It's like I don't know. It's weird how your ears just go. No,
Sometimes
I
it
don't
just
understand
doesn't
it.
click.
It's just weird. What about you? What's your last one?
My last one is going to be another legendary band, who just actually called it quits, and that's Aerosmith.
Oh, really?
Now, I like a lot of the Aerosmith hits that are on classic rock radio, but
Uh,
it's a band that I never really made mine. I love that they did that video with Run DMC when Raising Hell came out. I thought that was huge for, not that Aerosmith is a metal band, but just for, rock and hip hop, that
yeah,
collaboration to come together. I mean that opened so many doors for a lot of stuff that would follow. The Anthrax Public Enemy collaboration. I just thought
yeah,
that was huge, and I love that about Aerosmith and Run DMC. But
yeah.
again, a band that I can't grasp and make my own. To me, Steven Tyler is a creepy guy. I
He
have a hard time like
looks
being
like
a
somebody's
fan of
grandmother
that
now.
guy.
So
And I'm sure everybody knows the deal with Steven Tyler and that girl he adopted when she was a teenager. I,
oh yeah, yeah.
I won't get into that, but you can just Google that
No,
and look at it for
yeah.
yourself. But I think he ended up getting her pregnant too. So he's a
I
creepy
get you.
guy. I tend to stay away from stuff like that. It just rubs me the wrong way, and it
No, I
keeps
get.
me from loving Aerosmith.
No, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was like the early stuff is so good though, and then they get up to like the mid '80s and they start getting all commercial and too commercial, and then the
When
stuff in the '90s and beyond is just super
when do you
commercial.
think that started? Was it Permanent Vacation?
Yeah, for vacation.
Okay.
Because the album before that is Done with Mirrors, which that's the first one they reformed with the original band again, and that's a different album. It's a little darker, and people don't like appreciate it as much. But the Permanent Vacation just made them a totally different band, and then they
Right.
just went for that whole let's grab that commercial prize, just keep going with that, and
I agree.
they lost their whole edge, So, but it's kind of sad that they're done. All these bands are just like finishing, like they're done now. Kiss is done, and UFO is done.
Yep.
All these bands are done. But then you have some of them, there's still some of the old guard still goes on. Priest is still going on.
Right.
Maiden's still going on. They're talking about a new album, I heard.
Yeah, man.
So they got a 50th anniversary tour from Maiden coming. So,
Awesome.
who knows what's going on with that? But they never stop. They're always touring Iron Maiden. I don't know what the hell they do. They guess I don't know. It's just weird.
Amazing band.
Absolutely. I've
So I
only
had
seen them once.
I had a couple of honorable mentions on here that they're bands that I wrote down that I just didn't include on the list. And one
Okay.
of them is Dream Theater. Now, when it I bands we should like but don't. I didn't include them. You know, why should I like Dream Theater? Like, I don't know. Like, what would be my reason to like Dream Theater? I'm not sure if I have one, but it's a band that I don't necessarily love, but I, I
Uh-huh.
threw I threw them on my list, to my honorable mention kind of list. What do you think of Dream Theater?
I like Dream Theater.
Yeah,
They
okay.
get a little overindulgent, but you have to be in the mood for them. It's one of those bands. It's like listening to Pink Floyd. You got to be into them,
Yeah,
and listening got to be into listen to Pink Floyd. Like in Dream Theater. Dream Theater's kind of like they kind of make themselves as Pink Floyd meets Metallica.
totally agree.
That's kind of what they are. Some of their albums are really heavy, really good. Some of them get a little bit too much,
Yeah.
and I got to be in the mood for that. But I don't have every one of their albums, but I'm looking forward to the new one because they just reunited with Mike Portnoy, so I want to hear what that sounds like.
Yep.
But I can get that. A lot of people don't like Dream Theater. They just don't get that whole jammy stuff. That's probably why you don't maybe don't like Deep Purple, because they're jammy. They jam, and if you don't like that whole jam stuff, you're gonna like forget it. I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah.
It's just
I
I
got to
get
be in the
that
mood
though.
for it, you know.
Yeah,
And then one other one I thought of was Slipknot. Not
I
a
don't like them
Slipknot
either.
fan. I, you
I
know,
don't like them either.
I know a lot of people love them, but
Yeah,
that doesn't sway me either way. I don't care if a band has 10 fans or 10 million fans. It's not going to sway the way I if I'm a fan or not. But you know, should I
yeah.
like Slipknot? I don't know. There's no reason for me to like Slipknot, but
No,
you know, it's one
there's
that
like
I thought of.
there's like 9 people in the band.
Yeah.
Do you need that many people in your band? It's true. They have like 8 or 9 people in the band.
They
It's
do,
like
right? Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's whatever. The only one I can think of is I don't kick into is Mayhem.
Yeah, that's another one I can't get into either.
I tried listening just the other day. I'm like, well, I'm listening to I listen to stuff like Death Crush and listen to their first album. I'm like, no, I just don't like the way that. I just don't like it. The way it sounds. It's just too screechy.
Yeah.
And I know it's supposed to be lo-fi because it's black metal, but I don't know. People praise their early albums and they're don't like the middle albums. They were just whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just no bad. I can't really get into it all.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, so that's all I can think of at the moment.
All right.
But
So there you have it. There's, you know, 5 bands from both myself and George that, you know, we probably should like, but don't for different reasons. And, you know, let us know, you know, what you think. You know, give us some bands that, you know, you think you should like, but don't like them. You know, throw some suggestions down in the comments. Let us know what you think. And, you know, thanks for hanging with us on a Saturday morning here at the Realms of Metal. George G's Room of Rock. George, always a pleasure talking to you, brother.
it's always fun doing these videos.
Yeah.
Always appreciate it. Awesome stuff. Take care, guys.
All right. We'll see you guys real soon. Have a killer rest of your day.